Hello, welcome back. My name is Amjid. Um, so I got a lot of feedback from the last video. The first thing, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I've been saying your name wrong," um, and I just want to say that that's a little fucked up because y'all have known me for like 20 years, but it's okay. It's I'm actually kidding. I just don't correct people. Um, but this is how it's said. Jed. Um, so hopefully you watched the previous video. So I'm just gonna follow up from there. Um, so the last thing I talked about was this idea that objective reality can only be from your own perspective. Um, I kind of want to delve into what I mean by objective reality. I touched on it briefly when we mentioned sensations. So uh, we're gonna delve into something called the dimensionality of sensations. Um, so what that means is like um, your experience, like right now, we're gonna try to deconstruct it and kind of think of it objectively. So um, the ones that there's the obvious sensations that everyone knows about, like the five sensations: sight, hearing, etc. Um, those are still valid. So just don't concern yourself with like the details of what you're hearing. Like if you hear a bird chirping, um, just notice that there's a phenomena of sound. And this is kind of like the best way to explain this is like um, it's how I think of it in terms of vision. So imagine um, you take a screenshot of what you're looking at right now. So like for me, it would be this. It would be my bed. Um, so whatever is in your field of view, pretend like you took a screenshot, like as if you did it on your computer, and you know how it would have like that cutout. Think of that view as like all visual information appears in that field. Um, so this is obvious for like everyday stuff, but then just also keep in mind like when you dream, a dream. I don't know. A lot of people think of them as uh, like not real. Like the content is not real, but the phenomena of a dream itself is real, and it also appears in that same field where like what you would call normal reality appears. Um, so that's to say that uh, that's the that's just talking about sight. Now imagine that also for hearing. So same thing, like a bird chirping, like I mentioned, out in the street. You would hear that in what we call regular life, but in a dream, you still hear things. The phenomena of hearing that is still an objective experience, so don't discount it. Um, and then we're gonna do this for the other sensations, but I want to touch on the ones that are like not obvious. Um, so I touched on emotions. So let's kind of think about emotions again. Um, this time, emotions, think of them again in the context everyday life. Don't worry about like why you feel any emotion that you feel. That's what I would call the 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 content of the phenomena. Like it's the story of why you have that emotion. That's not to say it's not valid. This is just another way to think about it. Um, so, um, so yeah, same thing. Emotions happen in real life as an objective phenomena. So, for example, anger is like objectively like I guess I just assume a lot of people know this. It's like that fight or flight response. Your heart starts beating, and everyone like knows fear. Just acknowledge the feeling of that. It's just like that tightness in your chest, that feeling of like energy. It can you feel it also in your stomach. Focus on the physical sensations. Don't focus on like anger as like um, uh, anger as like I'm not sure. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Just focus on the objective quality of these emotions. Sadness is another example. It would still be a body sensation. So of course, obviously, tearing up, your eyes, your nose, your sinuses get triggered, um, and then again, tightness in your chest. And again, you could do this with every other emotion. And then this is the main thing, just like with the other two, with vision and with auditory. With emotion, same thing. In dreams, you still experience emotions. So in that state, when you're experiencing that in a dream, you have an awareness of that physical sensation of whatever emotion you're experiencing in the dream. So like pretend you're dreaming like a lion is chasing you. Um, that sensation of fear in the dream, it's real in the sense that you're aware that you feel it. Um, this may seem obvious, but um, I'm actually going to go into how that relates to paradigms. So let me get some water real quick because my throat's dry as fuck. So one sec. Um, oh, before we move on though, there's one last aspect of awareness, which is it looks like I'm about to run out of time. I'm gonna just mention this and I'm gonna leave it at that, and then we may just clarify other things. But the last thing I want to talk about is the the phenomena of like a thought. Um, so uh, this one is really tricky because this is the most ambiguous one to describe. Um, because most people, and this should kind of give you some insight on how much you probably lack awareness about these things. Uh, but the phenomena of a thought, which is that's to say, like, regardless of what you're thinking about, let's say I need to take the trash out. There's the content, which is the story of the thought, which is in this case taking the trash out, or I need to take the trash out. But there's also the objective quality of a thought, which is just the fact that you're aware that you're experiencing a thought. Um, let's take a sec to like absorb this because this is like I bet a lot of people like don't think about this, but really think about this because um, even though you don't consider these things, when you build like a model of what you consider reality, um, that model is based on your assumption that things like the objective quality of things like maybe your thoughts, like in the context of a dream, maybe is like not real, like it's not relevant to your life. And I'm here to tell you that that's a big mistake. And I'm going to elaborate on that in the next video. Okay, so thank you. I look forward to talking with y'all with y'all next time. Have a good one.